Alright, you guys, thank you for coming back to my channel. Don't forget to subscribe. I am using the Ion Color Brilliance Light Copper Blonde number 8RC. And this is a permanent dye, so you do need a developer. Do not use the developer I'm about to show you in the volume 20. It does not show the color as good. So later on in the video, you will see me correct the color. So halfway through this video, if you like the color that the 20 developer did, then that's fine. Stay with that. But I will be going with the higher volume later on in the video. Alright, right now I'm just squeezing the dye out of the tube, and then I'm going to put the developer in there. I'm using half of the bottle, that small bottle. I think it was like 4 ounces you're supposed to use per tube. But I have 2 tubes because my hair is very, very thick, and 1 tube does not dye my whole head. So I'm using 2. And then I will pour the rest of the developer in that side. So I'm just doing half and half. Now I'm just going to mix it up. Alright, you guys, this is how my hair is looking. Came straight out the ponytail. I do not wash my hair before I put these dyes in. As you know, if you have seen my other Ion dyes, I just do not wash my hair because it takes too long to let air dry and everything. Then I will have to figure out something to do with it until it's all dry. So I don't do that. I just pretty much do this on dirty hair. But it works for me. Now I'm just parting my hair in sections, just so I can work in sections. That is easy for me to distribute all the dye evenly. And I'm going to start with the first section. Make sure you have gloves on. This light copper blonde probably doesn't dye your hands as much, but it can. Browns and blacks really dye your hands, reds and all that. So I would just put gloves on to be safe. Now I'm just doing this on the outer edges of my section. I'm just putting it in as I would put a relaxer back in the day. Now I'm just taking my hands and rubbing the dye in my hair. It's just easier for me to do it that way. I use the brush on the outer edges, but it's easier for me to take my hand and kind of start parting my hair and putting the dye in, because if I use the brush, it just takes a lot longer. Now that I'm done with that section, I'm just going to twist my hair up and put that up so that I can work on the other sections. And I'm going to do the other sections the same way. When I'm all done with the sections, I'm going to let my hair sit for about 45 minutes with the shower cap on. Alright, so my face is hilarious because I didn't feel like it dyed really good. And a lot of times it's hard to see the color when it's wet. As you see, it doesn't look like it's any color in there, but as I part my hair, you will see that it did dye a little bit. So after about a week or so, I went to pick up the medium copper blonde 7RC, and I'll explain that in a little bit. But I am going to use a 30 developer, and I will show you in just a second. I'm going to do it the same way, half and half. Now the reason why I have medium copper blonde instead of light copper blonde is because Sally's was out of all their light copper blonde and they weren't sure when they were going to get it back in. So this was the next color. Of course, this is going to be kind of a little darker, but it was more of a oranges tint kind of to it instead of darker. But you will see, I feel like it brought out my color a lot more. One, because I'm using a 30 developer instead of a 20, and as you see, I am emptying the contents out of the tube, and then I'm going to put the developer in there. Now I'm doing the same thing I did last time, and I am going to leave it in for about 30 to 45 minutes. Alright, you guys, I do feel like this made the color pop a little more. I can see the color a lot better than what I did before. It's not going to necessarily be lighter because I used the medium copper blonde, but I did use a higher developer, and so I feel like this color came out pretty good. Please stay tuned for another video of the Ion color Brilliance on my daughter, and it's the medium copper blonde, but it's with a 40 developer, and you can see the difference from using a lower developer than a higher one. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, comment down below, and share my videos. Thank you.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face. Tell me that you love me, even if it's fake.